Hi, I'm Candy Michael from Powell, Ohio, and welcome to my live today. I hope you are having a wonderful day, and I know I am. I see I'm running a couple seconds late here, so I apologize, but I'm here, and I'm so excited because Stampin' Up! Has now started our kickoff with our mini catalog that goes from January to June of 2022. And it's celebration time. Hello, Nancy, and welcome. So, for every $50 that you purchase, and it can be from the annual catalog, the clearance rack, the mini catalog, anything that adds up to $50 before your shipping and tax, you can receive a free product. And actually, there's also a level if you hit $100, then they have some other products that you can get as well. So it's a super great time to stack up on your Stampin' Up! Products and get some freebies in the meantime. You can get some stamp sets. We have this cute little island vibe, some really pretty daffodil afternoon paper, and it's a 12 by 12 pack. The cool thing is there's also a stamp set that coordinates with that. It's called the Daffodil Daydream bundle, and it is in the mini catalog. We have, I'm going to show you really quick because I'm so excited. We have this cute Catching Butterflies stamp set, and these are all good with the $50 purchase before tax and shipping. And this reminds me of my friend Dina White. I think there had to have been a stamp set years ago that had a little girl that looked like that, and that she made a really cute card. So I'm going to look through my stash and see if I can find it. Here is the Driving By. I demoed that last week, and super cute with the Volkswagens and the little sports car. Some more paper. This is Sunshine and Rainbows, and this is a 6x6 pack. You get 48 sheets for each of 12 designs. And it also coordinates with the Rainbow of Happiness bundle. So some really, really cute cards. I've seen many of the cute ones, and especially using this Darling paper. It's really bright, very vibrant. This is some cool marble. It's called Simply Marvelous paper. It's 6x6 as well. And you can get that with the $50 purchase. And our cute little otter card. Awesome otters. Those are some stamps. Stamps. And here's a $100 level. So you can get the Hello Friend and the free designer paper along with that when you purchase $100 before tax and shipping. And next week I will show you some cards made with this. I was in a swap and I have, well, there was 20 of us. So I should have about 19 samples. I don't know if I'll show you all of them, but I will show you a lot. And then there's also another free with a $100 purchase with some beautiful words. So we have a lot to look at. But in the new catalog, I did a card for you using Home and Garden. And I will show you. It's a bundle. So it has this really cute gardening supplies and some fun words of a Happy Father's Day or birthday wishes for Dad. And I know girls use all of these too. So that's just the way Stampin' Up! Came up with it. And I'm going to show you one using a happy birthday one. So let me get started. I'm super excited about this catalog. I have quite a few projects and products that I want to show you over the next coming weeks. So let me show you what I have. These are the dies that come with the bundle. The dies don't always match what the stamps are. And actually Stampin' Up's been doing that more and more, which is pretty cool. But let me just show you really quick what these actually are. So this is like a hanging piece to hang, like this is a fence post, but this is like to hang your tools on the fence post, say. Here's some grass, we have a shovel, and then I'm going to demonstrate on how to stamp on some foil cardstock, and then this is the front of the shovel that would go on, and it looks like it's metal. Here's a rake. We have a ladder, some little gloves, and some cutters. And then again, you can cut either the little top of the shovel or the top of the cutters in like a foil cardstock and then glue it on top. It's really, really cute. So these are the dies. Love them. I'm going to actually be cutting some and stamping and cutting some of them out because I'm just going to show you the one card. But you guys, it's such a fun card, and I am having a blast playing with these dies. I had to create another card for a swap. I'm not going to show you that one, but I'm going to show you the one that I did for you today on my live. So let me put all of this stuff aside. And here are the stamps. Thanks for helping me grow. Birthday wishes, Dad. Happy Father's Day. And the last one is to the man who can do anything. And those are the stamps. So I have them all lined up and ready for me to use and for me to show you what I'm going to make. So I put a card together, and then I'm going to show you, I have all the pieces cut out so I can show you how I put it together. So here's my pocket card. There are a lot of different pocket cards out there that you can look up. I did mine with a 4x4 square piece of designer series paper. And the paper I used is in good taste, and it has like a wood grain to it. So I thought this was going to be just perfect for what I needed. I used Early Espresso as my back base, and it's just a quarter sheet. And then I used Crumb Cake on the next layer and Very Vanilla. But here's the coolest thing, that it's a pocket card. So when you pull this out, this is my rendition. When you pull this out, it has these cute little gloves that are hanging over the side. But look, I made it so that the ladder will open up and this card will actually stand up. I was playing around and I thought that's kind of fun. So I decided to just go ahead and I had to just make it work this way. I was thinking you could even put a pocket on the back if you wanted, or hide like a gift card behind here that would come out when you when your special person opens it up. So you can make it birthday wishes for anybody. I did stamp on here to the man who can do anything because I just thought that was really cute and it would all go together. So I thought it was a fun little factor to have the ladder pop up afterwards on the when you pull it out. So let me show you how I did this really cute, very simple card. I did use our terrible tape, and I love it because it's terrible. It's just terrible. And what I mean by that is you can actually take the tape and tear it. You don't need to have scissors, but you can tear it. So I always call it terrible tape because it's kind of a fun play on words. So here's my pieces, and I will get us started. So very simply, we're going to glue all of our pieces. Again, it's a quarter sheet, 4 1/4 inches with the Early Espresso. I'll put this underneath so you guys can see it. I always forget when it's really dark to throw a paper there. So 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. And then I'm going to, oh, this one was empty. I have another one sitting next to me and I grabbed the wrong one. And then this is 4 inches. I will have this on my website. I was only able to scribble it down. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to just line that up. And then I cut my Very Vanilla just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So this is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And why I put the lid back on, I never know. Never know. Now, I probably should stamp it first, but I'm going to be really daring and just put it all together. When I came up with the designer paper on the front, there are various ways to make this. I have made some in the past that my designer paper is not a square. And when it's not a square, you just have to you have to cut 2 of them or be able to flip it over. And you could even do that when it is a square, but when it's a rectangle, it just doesn't fit right. So I wanted to make this simple and just cut it at 4 by 4 inches. That way, when I flip it around, It's going to be really simple, and it's going to just line up on the crumb cake because it'll be the same size as the crumb cake. So super easy, very simple for you to duplicate. So let me put this here so you can see. And then I'm going to show you how I put the DSP on. This is the pocket, so I have to be really careful that I don't want to glue it shut. But the other thing is, when I was playing with this piece to go in, I had it like this. And I was playing with it before. I had glued it down, but it kept getting caught in here. So I want to make sure to put some of my tape here so that the ladder doesn't get stuck and keep missing. So that's what I was trying to spew out of my mouth here. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to kind of push this over and just show you very simply. I'm going to put tape here and tape up along here, because that is going to go there. And I'm going to use my terrible tape that I love. So I'm just going to put it down as closely as I can to the very edge down here. And I mean, there's not going to be coins or anything that it'll fall out, but I just want to make sure that I have more room for my piece that goes, my little insert that'll go in. So now if you want, because this is such a pointed area, you can actually take and cut a little piece to get up to that point a little bit more. Sometimes I worry about that not being to the very tippy top. So you can just cut that little piece right there. And so now this will go on like that, but I do want to get a little piece here so that my ladder doesn't keep hanging up. You can use this glue, but I am going to stick with my sticky tape. So I just want to kind of mark it here so I know where it has to go below that mark. And that should be fine. I should be in really good shape. And I left, no, geez, if it was any closer. So this is a great tip to be able to get that paper off of here, is to just use your, take a pick tool and pull it off. So like that, it makes it so much easier, especially if your nails are thick, or I don't really have nails, so. Okay, so now all I'm gonna do is just line up my edges. So I'm gonna go corner to corner, and I don't wanna lay this down because it's already sticky, but I got that part done, and then I just need my tape here and here, and that part's all done. So making the pocket it was actually really fun. I had several choices of our new designer paper, and I thought, oh, I can flip it over, you know, and make, like I showed you before, this could be the design on one side and another color on the other. And I just wanted to go simple. And again, on this side, I'm going to cut it down. How did I do that? Like this, I think, is about the right angle that I need to get up in that little point there. And I'm going to show you guys a couple of little tips. If you've not done it before, it might be kind of helpful for you. And if I can get all of this sticky stuff off of my fingers, I'll be in really good shape. Come on. There we go, tape. Okay, now we just need to take this one off. And this one. And there we go. So for my next little step, I'm going to go ahead and now you'll see there's no tape in here, so that's my pocket. And I'm just going to take it down right to the edge and then lay it on. Lay it on me. Lay it on there, because now we've built our little pocket. I'll do the stamping on it at the end. But next what I need to do is I need to start cutting and show you how to do my ladder and all these other fun little things. I did use blends today, and I'll be teaching you that. So with the ladder, let me move this again. I'll bring out my little mini machine. I love this. I feel like I know before I think I had said I was playing like with my Easy Bake Oven, but that's what I feel like. It's just a fun little, I feel like it's a little toy. So I guess it is a toy in my stamp room, right? So I'm using Early Espresso. That is my ink I'm using today to go along with all of my tools. And I did use it even to color in with my blends, and it did not smear at all. So I was very thrilled with that. So with this, let's see what I have here. I have taken, and I do not have the measurements, and I don't have a ruler in my site, but I've taken this and I've pretty much measured it. I will have all the measurements on my website, and I've scored it. And when I scored it, I want to go ahead and use my bone folder, kind of hold that down. Let me move my little tool here. So I'm going to stamp this, and I'm going to stamp it as close to the top before I go over the score line. So my ink pad is really nice and juicy, so I want to make sure I don't get too much, although it's going to be die cut out, so that's okay. But I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to come right up to the top. And I noticed that where my ladder top is just a little bit below the rubber, so that was kind of my guide. It's going to get die cut, so I just want to come right underneath that score line, that fold. Hi, Terry. Hope you're doing well today. Okay, look at that. And that's pretty straight. It does matter if it's straight or not, but that's not off enough that I'm going to be worried or concerned. So this is the coolest part. I'm going to put this ink pad aside. I will be stamping more. Oh, you know what? I'll just stamp my pieces. That way we'll have them ready to go. So I need my rake, and I need my couple other things here. So we'll stamp them at least and have them ready. My rake, and that won't matter because, ooh, I did that really close. That's not going to come out very well. I need to have a little more space for my die. I'm sitting down, so it's a little harder to see. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. So I have my little, here, I'll bring this back over so you can see. I need my rake, my shovel, and a pair of cutters there. So we'll do our little cutters. And everything is done in the espresso ink. And this is so much fun. So I'm going to do my little gloves. And then the last thing I need to do is my shovel, which is, I wonder if it's still in the box. It's still in the box. I was really, really hoping it wasn't like across the room, and it's not. So I will use this block, and I will stamp my little shovel, and then we will be ready to die cut everything out. And I can move my ink for now. I'll bring it back when it's time to stamp the words. But for now, we're going to do a little die cutting, and I don't always do that on my lives. But because there's so many little things to this, I wanted to just show you how I did it. Alrighty, let's go ahead and bring on the machine. So my, let me move this out of the way. So I have for die cutting, I have my plate. I'm sorry, my, what do they call this? Well, I'll call it like the platform, and then my two plates. You always, always, always want to protect your plastic platform, because the plates you can replace very easily. Not so easily with the platform. So then you're just going to take your dies, and we're going to cut these out really fast. Sometimes I can do 2 at a time, and sometimes I worry about it moving. And I need to stand up here. Ooh, I think, and I know some people will use like washi tape or a Post-it note. Let me see if I have one right here. Ooh, I got lucky. So it's a great tip if you want. I'm just going to cut this smaller. And you can take and use a piece of Post-it note and place it over there if you're worried about that moving. And now I might be able to do the rake at the same time. Hello, Paula. Welcome. I hope you're doing well today. So you just have to make sure they're not going to overlap. But, you know, if it's not perfect, it's okay. So I will take my next Post-it and, oh my gosh, they're sticking everywhere to me. And just line that up. And that's actually a really nice little tip. When you use the small machine, you don't want all your pieces up at the top because it's too thick for it to go through. So you want to, what I call, feather it back. And so if you're having any trouble making it go through, and you also don't want your dies too close to the top. So I probably should move that back just a little bit. It just gets too thick at the end and it won't, you might have trouble getting it to go through. I always make that noise when I die cut. Okay, so now I have my cute little shovel. I should have colored them first. Oh, well. Oh, what was on the other side? Something was. Oh, I guess I already had the rake. Oh, no, that was my boo-boo. Oh, my gosh. I'm telling you. I'm losing my mind. Okay, next we have the little, and this will just take a second, the little cutting shears. What are they called? And my gloves. So I have the shears, and what did I do with the gloves? Let's find that. There it is. Staring right at it. Okay, so we're just going to line those up. Actually, that looks really good. I'm not even going to use the Post-it. I'm just going to go for it and then do the second one. Look at that. And you don't have to go forward, backward, but that way I don't have to pull it back around. So there's my shears and then my gloves. These gloves are stinking cute. So you're just going to line those up. And if it's not perfect, I'm okay with that. And then that looks pretty okay. And we'll just run that through. And then lastly, I want to show you the tip with the ladder. This is the best part because you want to make sure you have that fold and you don't cut your fold. So with the ladder, I'm going to take and fold this, but I don't want to cut this off. So if you've not seen this tip, it's actually really cool. So I'm going to take my ladder die that's across the table from me, and I am going to actually turn this upside down. Now, what I want to do is line my die up with my stamped image, and then I'm going to place a Post-it note on that because I really don't want it going anywhere. So hopefully that's straight. I will just secure it with 2. We'll see if that really did anything. Okay, so here's the tip. On here, you're going to note that my ladder opens and that none of this got cut. Sorry, not caught, cut. So the tip is that when you have everything on your plates and you run it through, it's the pressure going through the die cut machine that actually cuts the die. But if you, let's see, I want to push it that way. Hopefully this will work on my little one. But if you take this and push the crease right here off the edge of the plate, there won't be enough pressure there to cut it. So your crease will stay, your score line will stay. So let's see if this will work for me on the little one. There we go. So it's going to cut everything else out, but it will not cut. Set this aside for a minute. But it will not cut my crease, my score line. So if you haven't seen that yet, it's really, really cool. See, it's all still attached. And this, let me see if I can open it. I'm all thumbs today, my gosh. Let me get the trash out of my hand. See, it's still there. Is that not the coolest tip ever? So if you've ever wondered how people do that and you've not seen that done before, that's how it's done. So all I'm going to do, oh, one of the other things I did earlier, and it helped, was I kind of lined this up and then I just pressed the die onto the paper so that I could see where to cut. And I just want to go up to that score line. I pressed a little too hard at the top, but you get the idea. So I'm going to cut this away so it's easier for me to cut. But I'm just going to go up and then kind of follow that line to the top because I don't want to cut it all the way off. Oops, where am I going? There we go. See? And now my ladder opens. It's the little things in life that makes me smile. So hopefully that was a fun tip that you hadn't seen before. All right, so let me move my die cutting toys over to the side. While I have this out, I'm gonna go ahead and put my ladder to the side for a second until I start building everything. This is a piece of our foil, our silver foil paper. And what I wanna do is I wanna show you how you can stamp and die cut. Remember those dies that I had on here that will cut? So this one is the shovel, and then this one is for our, call them our scissors, shears. I don't know what you call them. I'm not a gardener. And so somebody can tell me, what is it called? What are these things called? Are they called shears? That doesn't sound right. Clippers? I don't know. I'm guessing. Help me. So you're going to take the silver foil paper, but here's the deal. If you use regular ink, it's going to just come right off. It won't stay. So you want to have that image on there to stay. And the one ink that we have is our Stays On ink. Our Stays On ink is awesome. It will stamp on glass. It will stamp on cellophane. It'll stamp on plastic. It's just awesome. Awesome, awesome. So one of the things that you want to do, this is my little scrap, is you're going to take your stamp right here, and we only need the top because of the die cut. You really only need the top of the shear, so I don't have to ink the whole thing up. But with Stays On, you're going to go ahead and ink it, and be careful because it's slippery on that foil. But you're just going to stamp it and then clean it off. We do have a special cleaner. If you let it sit on there too long, it'll just stain your stamp. It won't hurt it. Do not use Stays On photopolymer. You only want to use it on the red rubber because the photopolymer, it has a chemical in here and the Stays On, and it's not good for your photopolymer stamps. So I only recommend using them on the red rubber stamps. So now I need the shovel. Here's my shovel. And I did not clean it off. So now all I need to do is ink up the top of my shovel and then stamp that and try not to move. My paper is kind of bent, so I'll bend it the other way. And then get that on there. I'm sure there's a glare for you as there is for me. Ta-da! And then it just takes a second for that to dry. So we'll get that drying and off to the side. And then I'll go back and die cut those out because I don't think I did that before I came on my live. I'm a mess over here. Okay, so next what I need to do is I need to grab my insert piece, and we'll start working on that, and then I'll go back to the front of the card. So my insert piece, I have a piece of crumb cake and a piece of espresso. And on here, I do know that these are the espresso is 4 inches by 2 3/4, and this is 3 3/4 by 2.5 inches. So they're just a quarter shorter of each other, a quarter shorter. And this is just going to get glued on. And then I'll show you my little tip with my ladder. Okay. So I have this put together. Next, I have this darling little shovel. And that has a name too. And I'm not going to say it because I really don't know what it's called. So who could tell me? Hello, Joycelyn. How are you doing? Does anybody know what this is actually called? I'm sorry, I'm not a gardener. I'm not even going to pretend to be a gardener. So I'm going to stamp that little shovel there for the inside. These tools and shovels and ladders and everything were just so much fun to play with. All right, let's go ahead and glue on the ladder. Now, on the ladder, if you notice, I have my gloves. Well, I'll show you how I did this little hook-em-a-bobber on the back. And that's what I'm going to call it, is a hook-em-a-bobber. It's just a little scrap of paper that I put on, and I only glued the back down so that this, when it goes in the pocket, can kind of hang over the side. So I don't want any glue on... Oh, it won't matter. I'm only gluing the back down anyway. But you want to be careful not to get any glue in here because we don't want it to glue shut. I was thinking I had to hang it on the rung, but I don't. I just need glue on here. So, what I did was, oh my God, I'm all thumbs. What I did is I cut the bottom of the legs off, and then I was able to line this all the way up. You don't have to, but I was having so much fun with this. I wanted it to be able to stand up. Just because I thought it was cute. And you could come up with all sorts of other ideas. Maybe a picture up here or a picture on the ladder. Maybe I'll do that. I suggest you use the thick vanilla cardstock or white because I did not, and it's a little more flimsy and didn't even think about that until just now. It would have been much stronger. But anyway, I did cut the bottom of the legs off so that it would sit out a little bit off of the cardstock so that it can stand. Otherwise, it would be really crooked like that. So let me go ahead and do a little snip and cut that off. And then that gives me time to glue this on. And I'm going to put the glue kind of down. I don't want too much because we'll have the squish factor, and we do not want the squish factor. We don't want that glue coming out off the sides because we don't want our ladder glued. But I did that because now I can hold it at the top. Haha. And then just line up that bottom cut. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm going to line up that bottom cut right to the bottom. Hopefully that is pretty centered. It might be off a little bit, but that's all right. So I have this piece, which I could have cut a little straighter there. There we go. And then that will just take a second for it to glue down. I did already stamp my birthday wishes just on a little piece of scrap. I keep all the scraps when I when I cut my cardstock. And I went ahead and cut a little scrap of the brown. I do have the measurements. Again, it'll be on my website, candystampers.com. Candystampers.com. Forgot to put my little note out. I have a note with that, but I forgot to update the host code. So I didn't bring it out. I just have way too much going on. But I love these lives and I don't want to miss doing them because I have so much fun creating for them. So with this, I did put dimensionals on the back and pop it up, pop it up, pop it up. And I put one on each side, and then this will be done. And then we can go back to our garden tools, get that finished up. So this is just going to go right about There. Looks good. Okay, so while I'm finishing this, let me show you what I did with my gloves. I did color them in with the Daffodil Dark marker. Blends. It is easier to color them before you die cut them out, but I will make it work. Just gives you more to hold on to. La la la, as I color. Okay. Then what I did was I created this little scrap piece. So I just took a scrap. You could literally take any scrap. Just cut a piece of scrap paper. And I cut it about that big. And this is what I actually did with it. I just cut it. This was my other one that I had my little template for you. But I just cut this. It's about the same size. And look at that. And then just folded it over. So I'm going to kind of fold this at an angle. And the only reason I cut it is because if you don't, and when you glue it on, if you don't cut it, it's going to show off to the side. So on this one, it gets cut like right here. You just want to cut that off so that you don't see it when it's folded. You just don't want it hanging. So basically you just need to have a little hanger. Okay, this one glue is empty and it needs to be out of the way here. There we go. I keep grabbing the wrong one. And just a little bit of glue, and then glue that on up to the top a little bit. And that will help you hang that over the rung of the ladder, the little step. Yay. Now, all I did with this is then put a glue dot here. I love my glue dots. And I just literally put one on there. Put one on there. Oh, good. It heard me. And then I'm going to just hang this. I'm telling you, all thumbs. I'm going to hang this, flip it over the top here. And then have it hang off to the side. Now, I only did it on the front, so that's not glued down. And that's so that it can fit inside the pocket and hang off to the side. But let me go ahead and stamp that really quick while I have my ink out. And this says, it says birthday wishes, and then this one says to the man who can do anything. All right, let's get that hidden back here. Make that straight, and hopefully, I held my breath. Well, it's straight, somewhat. Little off center, but I am too. Okay, so that is like that. This is going to simply, make sure that's dry. I don't want to smear it. And then this is going to just simply slide in. You can color your ladder if you want. I just felt that it popped off of here so nicely, I didn't need to. And then your ladder, you want to make sure you stop. Otherwise, you could see how it's trying to bend. See that? So I'm going too far. So don't shove it in there. Just put it in. There. Isn't that cute? Cute, cute, cute. Okay, let's finish the front. So we need to glue on our little, this has to be done first. So I die cut already the little grass because I didn't want you sitting here for too long. I am doing a lot of die cutting with you today, but that's all right. Hopefully that's kind of fun to watch. So here's my tip. I did not want to use adhesive paper because I need to get my tools underneath here. You can use adhesive paper behind here or the adhesive sheets, and then just slide it under before you tack it all down. So if you're worried about that, or what I did was I just took my glue and made a very thin line of glue all the way pretty much to the end. You can see I didn't go too far end to end. And then I'm just going to simply, here, I'll put this here so you can see, glue these on. and try to keep my fingers out of the glue. So just press them on there. You might bump them, just straighten them out. They're not going to dry quite yet. There's a front and a back to these. So if that bothers you, just make sure you get them on there right. And you can use, there's two sizes. There's a larger and a smaller blade of grass. So I just used them both and kind of mixed it up. And just slide that down. If you need, I'll show you too another little tip that I did. A little trick. If you need to straighten them out, you can take a piece of cardstock and just push them back up so that they're flush. Flush. Okay, and then I'm just kind of alternating. La la la. Might need more glue if it dries, if I don't hurry, It's called beat the clock, right? Tick tock, tick tock. But I'm getting there. This is one of those cards that I actually made some that I did this where I had to glue all these on, and it really wasn't that bad. Once you get them all die cut, that's took me the longest. Gluing them down was very, very easy. Let's see if there's a longer one here to finish it off. Yes, and so perfectly too. Close enough. Oops, now I have a glob of glue. We'll take care of that. Just like that. Okay, so now I have my grass, and I'll give that a second to dry and get my other blades off of the road here and go back to my little pieces here. So my shovel, as you see, I use the dark smoky slate blend, and oops, that little piece has to be poked out. So I use my smoky slate blend, and I blended in the little handle here and just colored that in. And then I had to do this part of the shovel. So the way the die works is it doesn't cover all the way down. So I just went like that. So I had my coloring in, and then I used the dark crumb cake to get the wood look of the handle there. And while I have that out, I went ahead and did that also with the I can't see my comments that you guys probably told me what this is called, but I'll just call them garden scissors. Okay. I think I should color in this part too, because the blades don't get covered all the way down. So I'll use that metal part right there that didn't get colored in. And that would just bug me. Every time I looked at it, I'd say, okay, where's my marker, my blend? All right, so next, what I'm gonna do is just quickly show you, and I've already die cut this. I did not die cut my shovel piece, but I already remember how I had stamped this and I had die cut it out. This simply just gets a little bit of glue. You don't need a lot or you'll have that squish factor. And now I have glue on my fingers. And you just want to line it up and glue it on. I found it easier to pick it up. And with this glue, I can slide it around if I need to. Okay. And then I am putting a dimensional right behind there. So I'm using our the mini ones. And I just want to pop my tools up a little bit. So I have that. Next, I'm going to do my shovel very quickly. Die cut that out. And I'll be back with that. I'm going to do it over here. Much easier. Now, I'm going to bring this back. There is one little tip on here I wanted to show you. Because when you're working with this, with the little shovel piece here, and actually any of these pieces that go over the top, one of the things that I learned is this die is solid. So you can't really see through it when you're lining it up. But if you look through this teeny tiny little hole, and you look to the very tip of that, where that stamped image is, and then this little teeny tiny hole, line it up right in the center of your shovel piece here. So in other words, I'm going to put that on. I don't know if you guys can see because it's pretty small, but to my eye, I'm going to go right up to that stamped line, and I can see it right through that little dot. And then this one down here, I'm lining up right in the center there. So hopefully that makes some sense for you. Once you start playing with it, you'll realize it's solid again, and so you can't really see through it, but that helped me a lot. And I was able to die cut them all out and get them pretty spot on. So let's make sure that happens. Yes. See? So just, and you can even see where that little hole impression is from that hole. But anyway, I hope that helps and that you guys understood what I was saying with that. Okay, now my little toy can come over here. The die can go there. And we can glue our shovel together. So, oh, I know what I did with this. I also used a dimensional on this shovel. I don't think I did on, not on that one. I did it flat. I'm going to put it on the back. And then this will get glued down flat. Because when I was going to pop it off, but it was just too, it looked too weird. It didn't look like a real shovel. This looks more like a real shovel. Oh my goodness. I missed the handle on there. Can't have that, right? Oh, there we go. You guys are probably all saying that on your, in your remarks going, hey, you forgot the shovel handle. Okay, here we go. So I put dimensionals behind all of my tools. It just was something I wanted to do. So let's go ahead and grab our piece here. And let me show you how I finished the front. We're almost done. So I took a dimensional, put it on the back. I am going to put a little bit of glue up here. Oh, that's not a little bit. That is a lot of it. And I do not want that much on there, or it'll all come out the sides. So I'll scrape some of that off. But I'm going to tuck, this is really kind of fun. You're just going to take and tuck in behind the grass. And then lay that down. And then you have like a little pop. So it's not flat and flush, but it's kind of popped up. For something different, a little more height to it. And then I did the same with the shovel. No, I lied. I put my minis. I cut one of my minis in half, and then I put half of it on the shovel handle up here. I'll show you that. I put it right up there. And then I use the other half. Oh, I did use the other half for that one, but that one's big enough. You don't have to worry about hiding it. But the shovel handle was just a little too narrow. So I got the paper off of that. And then this again, I'm just going to tuck it kind of behind some of the grass and lean it against the rake. Oh, so cute. And then this little piece, I'm just going to tuck underneath and lay that down, and then put a little dot of glue right there, right about there. So you guys, here's my fun card using Home and Garden, brand new stamp set. So I'm going to put this other one together and just kind of recap. I hope you love that little tip about cutting that ladder and how you can do that even with, you know, any of our larger stamps. But here you go. Here's your card. Isn't that too fun? And then this opens up, has the words, birthday wishes to the man who can do anything. And then you can pop out your ladder and it will stand up. thanks for watching today. I so enjoyed my time with you. Again, my website's candystampers.com. I am going to jump on and post all the measurements for you. And that way you can recreate this and have, it's easier when you know the measurements, right? And you guys can recreate it and let me know what you think. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget, you can go to my candystampers.com website and you can also order anything from Stampin' Up! There. And I will be updating the host code in about 5 minutes. I'll be on my website and I'll update the new host code for January. Thanks for joining me. You guys have a great evening and I'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye for now. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh. Okay, I need to rotate my phone. I think I'm still on here. But how do I rotate it? I messed it up. Sorry, guys. Trying to figure out what in the world I did. Okay, hopefully I can go online and I can fix this for you. Sorry. Oh, boy.